Hello, everyone. It's so great to be on this show today. I'm excited. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And also, compliments of the season. It's a new season. And so, we have a special guest with us. His name is Raheem. But before I bring him on board, I'd like to just introduce what is made or what made is all about making a difference every day. We're actually called out to be a light. We're called out to stand out. We're called out to be an impact. We're called out to be leaders who do not just know and keep all we know to ourselves, but those, share our information, share what we know, share our knowledge, be a people of impact. Life is not lived until you begin to live in others, living a life of significance. We're not just called to strive, to succeed, have big houses and new things, but we're called to be a people of impact, a people of difference, a difference maker. And that's what God has called us to do, to stand out and be that unique being that God has called us to be. And I'd like to just introduce myself. My name is Sandra Oko. I'm a Maxwell Leadership Certified Team Member, coach, speaker, and trainer. I'm a member of the Toastmaster. As a Vice President, Public Relations, I'm also a best-selling author, an IT sales expert of over 20 years, and just recently got the Presidential Lifetime Award. And today I'm excited and I'm thankful for life. I'm thankful for a new season and a new year. We have a guest with us who will be telling us the story how it all began with him and what has worked for him and what has kept him going and propelling him forward. So today, the next person you get to see is Raheem himself. He'll be introducing himself and telling us what he's up to. Hi, so great to have you, sir.
Hi, hey everybody, how you doing today?
We're
My name
good.
is.
We're doing well. It's a new season.
I'm doing wonderful. My name is Raheem Penny, and I'm an electrical engineer in the aerospace industry. I'm a barber and also a realtor. I'm a Maxwell Leadership Certified trainer and coach as well. I though I need to do more training and coaching.
But you have your hands in a lot. How you
Yeah,
manage it? As an electrical engineer, a barber, and what again do you say you do?
a realtor.
A realtor and a Jamaxo coach. So
Yeah.
how you managing? How you moving from each? How do you work? How
So
you get them to work
th-
together?
there's 24 hours in every day, and I don't use every day to do everything. So I do some things Monday through Thursday from 7 a.m. in the morning till about 6 p.m. at night, and then I transition, spend 2 hours on doing real estate stuff, and then on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Friday and Saturday, barbering. Maxwell Leadership, I need to spend more time with it. I haven't done as much as I need to, but I do stay in the network, and so that if there are speaking engagements, I'm able to partake in.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, why if you need help, I'm here to assist you, and that's why we're a team.
Yes. Yes.
So good to
Yes.
have you on this show today. I'm excited, and
Yes.
that's a lot you're doing. You are wearing about four arts. Electrical engineer, a barber, uh, a
Realtor.
realtor, and a Maxwell speaker. Great to have
Yes,
you on
sir.
this show. Can you tell us what is propelling you? What's your driving force? What has
My,
kept you in this industry?
so, in as far as growth and career, being an electrical engineer, I've been driven from just wanting to do better, wanting to have a better life for me and my family, and show my younger siblings. I have three younger brothers. Show them that anything you put your mind to, you can accomplish. As
True.
far as barbering, it's been a passion since I was in sixth grade. It's a passion. The passion is what drives me when it comes to barbering. Being a realtor, it's learning about real estate and how it functions and the ins and outs of real estate investing. And so becoming a realtor was the next best thing to do. To be able to learn more about how the government looks at real estate and how law looks at real estate. That's how I was. That's what drove me to do that. And Maxwell Leadership, it actually came from trying to be a better person in my career. So Maxwell Leadership helps you understand what leadership is and how to look at leadership and how to help the people around you become better leaders. And so that's what drove me to Maxwell Leadership.
Awesome. 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 Would you be able to share with us the time when you had the difficult moments? How did you go
Difficult
through it? How did you manage? Did you think of throwing in the tower? What kept you going?
difficult moments. There are a lot of difficult moments. today is a difficult moment. I'm pretty sure I faced a difficult moment today. A big time when I had a difficult moment. I would say college. In college, it was very, very, very tough. Electrical engineering wasn't my first choice. I wanted to become an accountant because I was always good at math, and I just thought like that's the natural flow, right? That's the natural flow of life. Is you're good at math, you become an accountant. I
Yeah.
hadn't learned what an engineer was, and so I was going through college, and I decided to change my major to engineering. And my first semester of engineering, I had the worst GPA ever because I just didn't understand any of the concepts. It wasn't just math anymore. It was, hey, how does this work? And do you know how to solve this problem with all these other factors? And so in college, what I learned from my struggle was you don't have to do it alone. There is someone else trying to reach the goal or who has already climbed to the mountaintop, and you can reach out to them for support. And so while I was in college, I found a really great support system of peers and also professors who wouldn't mind spending the extra hour to make sure that I got a concept clearly, or even some classmates that understood some things that I didn't understand, and I understood some things that they didn't understand, and we could work collectively to be successful in the class. And so I was able to graduate college after I realized like I didn't have to do it alone, and I could depend on my
Awesome.
peers.
Yeah, and that's why you need to have right teammates, having
Mm-hmm.
the right system around you for you to, plug in. You can imagine if you didn't have a support system, how
Yeah.
difficult it would have been going through school, going through college. That's
Mm-hmm.
a great one. And when you have those moments, did you get a mentor? Was there anyone to just guide you, to hold your hands and say, this is the way to do it and this is how to do it? Or you just start to reach out to other teammates yourself?
Oh yeah, definitely. Mentorship is key. Like I said, so professors were also a part of my support system, and those professors are till this day people that I can reach out to and say, "Hey, I'm facing this difficulty." And so even in my professional life, I still have experienced those same struggles where I don't know what to do next. I don't know which direction to turn. However, there are people like managers in the company, people that are on my team that has been there for maybe a month longer than me, that has a certain experience that they can teach me from. And so, yes, I've developed several mentors in all the different
Different areas
careers
that you
that I
want to go
have. I
in.
have a mentor in all of them for
Yeah, that's
sure.
it. Because you can sometimes you might have as much as five, six, depending on the areas you seem to grow. Maybe mentors in the type of business you do, maybe electrical engineering, mentors in barbing. As much as you need help in different
Mm-hmm.
areas of your life, you might have different mentors. Though sometimes some men multifaceted, such that
Yes.
they're doing similar things like you're doing. They can
Mm-hmm.
cover up maybe two, three others. But there is a need for you to get a mentor because you do not need to reinvent the wheel. Because if you find out that somebody doing well in this particular field, and that's the field you want to pursue, then why not reach out to them? Why try to struggle it all by yourself? And what you could have achieved in 6 months, you spend 2 years getting to achieve it. So the reason why we need mentors, they are there to hold your hands, they're
Mm-hmm.
there to guide you, they're there to give you the testimony, their stories, how it all started. They're there to encourage you to go persevere, to go through your process. And
Mm-hmm.
that's the need. And they're there to, make sure you form this kind of habits that will take you to where you want to be. And you find out
Yes.
that what are habits? Habits are things you do every time, and before you know it, it becomes part of you.
Mm-hmm.
So those are habits you want to embrace. Habits of great leadership, habits of being consistent, habit of being diligent, habit of not trying to chicken out or trying to give up on situations because there seem to be obstacles. So you
Mm-hmm.
must confront your obstacles. Like you rightly said, there is always challenges everywhere. Even today, you said you also had some. So it is true. As long as you're living, there would be challenges. And it is
Yes.
said that except a dead person that stops having challenges because it's either you are just leaving one challenge to the other. It's like a chain reaction. You're overcoming one and you're entering a bigger one. So
Mm-hmm.
and the same thing happens when you're in college. You live your first year, you overcome the first year all the challenges to get to the second year. Second year, you move to the other. If you don't pass your first year, you don't get to be promoted to the second one. So also
Right.
challenges. If you run away from challenges, you will leave to fight it some other time. And you don't want to fight those challenges or confront those issues when you don't have the strength to go through it. So
Right.
I said, confront your obstacles. What are the obstacles? It is not said there is fear everywhere, but fear is not something you want to keep or entertain. It is said that whatever your fears are, deal with your fears so you can move to the next stage. And what is courage? Courage itself is doing it afraid. Whatever
Mhm.
you've set your heart to do, as much as you want to do it, just be focused on it.
Yes.
Confront what the issues are. Seek for help if you have to. And that's why, like you rightly said, having the right system around you, knowing that you don't have to do it all by yourself,
Mm-hmm.
which is a great one
Yes.
you just shared with us. Getting the right team around you.
Yes, I agree.
So, do you have a story you probably want to share with us? How you went through college, how you graduated, what worked for you, presently now, what kept you in that field? Because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I find that some people go to college to read a particular degree, and once they are done, maybe they're not sure that's the area they're called to be. They
Mm-hmm.
change their career line to something else. What has kept you going to pursuing electrical engineering? Even with the stress and the obstacles, you still kept on moving.
Yes. So for me, so electrical engineering, I don't think I chose it. I think it chose me, because I
You're funny.
because I went to college thinking, yeah, I'm going to be a CPA. I'm going to do this accounting thing, and that's it. That's all life is going to be. Um, for me, I was looking for a challenge. I wanted my life to mean something, and I wanted to make sure that I maximized the opportunity that I had to go to college. And so, in doing so, I went to the academic advisor and I asked, "Hey, how can I challenge myself? I've been doing business classes since I was in high school, so I understood the business part of accounting,
Yeah.
and these classes seem like they're repeating themselves. Can I challenge myself in a way?" And I know all the accountants in the world are going to say, "Yeah, you didn't take micro and macro." You're right. I hadn't gotten to that point yet, but I just felt like this was repetitive stuff that I was going through my first year of college. And so I asked the academic advisor for a challenge, and she said, "Yeah, try engineering. It's a lot of it's math intensive, and then like you'll have a nice salary throughout your career." And so what kept me going is the challenge. Like, yeah, like I signed up for this, I'm going to finish it. I challenged myself. I accepted the challenge, and completing it is the only way through. And I had to keep going. I had to go through it to get to feel fulfilled. And so now in my career, it's the same thing. I'm in aerospace. I work in the aerospace industry. I didn't take any aerospace classes in college. I only took electrical engineering classes. However, like my skill set is still needed in aerospace. So now I'm in the industry using the skill set from college and also having to learn again because I have to learn how the airplane works to put
Yeah.
the information that I have to use. And so it's been a challenge, looking for a challenge to looking forward to solving a problem through overcoming challenges has been my driving force when it comes to electrical engineering.
Awesome. And that's why it's good to have to be dynamic because you could have just said, oh, I did electrical engineering, and so I wouldn't be able to work in an aerospace. But you
Hmm.
applied yourself,
Yeah.
allowing yourself to learn again, in
Hmm.
order for you to be able to apply the skills and the knowledge that you have gathered over time in electrical engineering to the aerospace. That's awesome. Having yourself, putting yourself to use and allowing, going through your process. Yes, sometimes people run away from their challenges to look
Hmm.
for something easier. It gets boring, but you have to get. But there's some, even in some your area right now, there's some things you get to do that gets boring. But you
Hmm.
need to challenge yourself to doing things that are greater and that are
Hmm.
more challenging that will keep you up, looking forward to greater things. Not doing, yes, the things you do repetitively can be boring. Yes,
Yeah.
what you do every day, you do the same job as an electrical engineering, even in the aerospace. What you get to do as time goes on, sometimes they become repetitive, but you have got to challenge yourself, look for an accountability partner, somebody to, hold you accountable to certain things you want to do, maybe certain certifications you want to do. You want to get skilled up, you want to stand out even in the aerospace. Yes, you're working in aerospace. You want to find out what can I do better in the
Mm-hmm.
aerospace to stand out? How can I differentiate myself? How can I be that unique person, that's a go-to person that everybody wants to come to, to ask questions, to ask assistance. And so by doing that, you're also, enlarging your horizon. You're opening yourself to greater field, You're not just streamlining yourself to electrical engineering. But like right now, you told me you're doing about four things, wearing four hard. And I was asking you, how do you cope and how do you transition from one to the other? You just explained to us that at a certain period of the day, you're too busy doing this. In the evenings, weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you're barbing.
Mm-hmm.
And you spoke about a realtor in the evening between 6 and about 8, 9, you're doing
Mm-hmm.
realtor, which is you're having a balance. You're apportioning your time, meaning there are no time wastage. You have everything planned out,
You're
which is a
right.
good one because, like I often will tell people, I say time is something, it's a currency you don't want to lose. You can
Yeah.
lose money and make the money back, but
Yeah.
time wasted cannot be gotten. You
Yeah.
know, you just have to move on. So ensuring that whatever thing you found doing, you're doing it rightly, you're doing it well, so that
Mm-hmm.
you can use your time well. You can maximize your time,
Yes.
using every time and making sure that every minute counts. You're
Mm-hmm.
using it to improve yourself. Like I had someone I had a chat with in one of my shows. One thing he said to me that rang a bell is every day that you wake up, tell yourself you want to do something new. What is
Mm-hmm.
that new thing you want to do or you want to learn? And that's helped me to also engage my boys. I'm a girl, to ensure that every time they are busy learning one skill or the other. Because I
Mm-hmm.
tell them you don't want to wait till you get out of college to start making money. You want to start making money whilst in college or
Mm-hmm.
whilst a teenager, you can make money.
Yeah.
So getting up these skills makes you stand out. When you go for interviews, beyond just interviews, you can help yourself to fix things in the house. You can do some certain things rather than looking for help out there, because they have exposure to a lot of communication. And because
Mm-hmm.
you want to help them to better channel the time that they have to doing something that's of worth, you can tell them to go to YouTube to watch how people are doing these. Like my
Mm-hmm.
daughter said, she wants to be a good volleyball player, so she's always watching videos on volleyball.
You're
My
right.
my boys are always watching soccer because they want to stand out. My
You're
other
right.
son is a wrestler. He's always watching wrestling. So you must just use this electronic gadget to do something to improve your life.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'll be on social media, you know, helping those other guys there to make more money. I'm not saying you shouldn't watch them, but using your time well,
Yes.
whilst even on holiday, whilst done with schoolwork and
Mm-hmm.
assignments, you want to do something that is adding value to you. Value is
Yes.
the only thing that you can add. He said, we're people of value. We see value in ourselves, because if you don't see value in yourself, you don't add value to yourself. So you
You're
must
right.
see yourself as a valuable resource so that you can add value to yourself. And that's what led most of us to John Maxwell. We're all
Yeah.
looking for personal development. How can we be better? How can we be a better leader in our chosen field? And that was what gave birth to most of us being in John Maxwell, being a leader. And it is said that people don't care how much you know
Mm-hmm.
until they know how much you care.
You're
So
right.
beyond just being a leader, you want to care for the people around you. You want to
Mm-hmm.
be a person of impact, maybe in the community where you live. Find out what is needed in that environment. Find out how you
Mm-hmm.
can be a blessing,
Yeah.
how you can impact your community. Everything doesn't have to be money, but
Right.
sometimes you can share your knowledge, you can share your skill and your experience over time, things you've gone through, how you've gone through the stuff, your journey, and how they can, learn from you and become better citizens, better leaders, and they can, train their kids, their children better, how they can become leaders and being a better version of themselves, being a better version, because
Mm-hmm.
God has called us out to just be different. And each and every one of us have a skill and a talent. So you want to find out, how are you using it? Have you harnessed the skills and the giftings like you are already using it? And I'm sure there's still more yet to discover. So most of us, it's a time for us, seizing a new year, and everyone is celebrating compliments of the season, but you also want to take some time. Like would tell people, I say, take time. I know there's so much distractions around us, so much sound, people are distracted, but you
Yeah.
might want to take a time to stop, pause, and reflect. Find out what you're doing. Because I read a book that's, I think, Atomic Habits. So it
Yes.
was talking about, taking time to stop, pause, check inward. He said when you reflect, you get to correct things that are not right in your life,
Mm-hmm.
errors that you're making, things you need to do better. He said,
Mm-hmm.
but when you don't take time to stop, reflect, you keep doing things in the old same way, and you might be making several continuous error. But when you take time to be quiet, to take time to pause, take time to reflect, you are able to review your mistakes
Mm-hmm.
and bring yourself back to a right path. Because it is said that insanity is doing the same thing over time and expecting a different result.
That's right.
So taking time to stop, reflect would help you to see what is it I'm doing? Why am I doing this? How do I, streamline it? How do I correct whatever mistakes I'm doing? How do I get better at what I am doing? And in
Right.
so doing, you're able to, bring yourself back to the right path just in case you have deviated from your journey from that part. You're able to go back.
Mm-hmm.
You want to say something?
No, no, that all you're covering, you're hitting the points on the head for sure. We don't want to practice insanity, right? We want to get
Yeah.
better. And so in Atomic Habit, it mentions it. Also, there's
Have
a
you read the
book.
book?
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful book. I think it's a book everyone should read. It says,
Yes,
it says the title is Atomic Habits,
by James Clear.
tiny changes that brings about remarkable results.
Amen. Yeah, yeah, it's really good. Another book that mentions a similar concept of how to get better is like making it a habit to stop and take a step back and look at what you've done and take a note of what you can do to improve. And so, the magic of thinking big by Dr. David Schwartz, wonderful book, and it has a snippet
What's the
about doing the
title?
same thing.
The Magic
The-
of Thinking Big.
yes,
Oh, that's a great one.
yeah, that book changed the way I look at the world.
All right.
Um, and it has that in there as well. Is to take every
The
week if
Magic
it
of Thinking Big.
yes.
Okay, I'll check it out. Yeah, and that's it. That's it. And before we call it a day, when you have moments of great success,
Hmm.
great achievement, how have you rewarded yourself? How have you celebrated it so that you can get better? Because rightly, like I'm sure you would have read this book, The 15 Invaluable Laws of the
Hmm.
Max Growth, where it talks about motivation is what keeps you going. But what
Hmm.
keeps you growing is discipline.
So as far as celebrating, I don't do much. Like I'll sit back and reflect. Like, dang, how could I have done this better or faster? I'm not big on celebrating, especially things that I feel like I should have done. Like I needed to do these things to get to the next level, to get to the grand picture. I need to accomplish these small goals, and so I try not to bask in that too much. And maybe that came from growing up. Like, in sixth grade, I had the highest math score in my class, and my teacher was like, "Yeah, good job. Don't get too big headed." And so I've learned to not be
I know what you
glorified
mean.
by
And not
any
allowing the
success.
success and the victories to
Yeah,
get into your head. But beyond
yeah,
that, I understand what you mean, but there's that space for celebrating. It
yes,
does help you to go on because that's why I said
yes,
motivation keeps you going. It
mm-hmm,
keeps you encouraging you that, oh, I can do better. I can try
mm-hmm,
new things. So once in a while, I'm not saying it's something that you should do all the time,
yeah,
but when it's often good, you reward yourself.
mm-hmm,
Like I found that when you have in the Atomic Habits, it talks about reward system. When
yes,
you reward people, you said what you reward, you tend to move towards.
mm-hmm.
What you do not reward and you punish and you inflict a lot
Ah,
of pain,
yes,
you desist from.
mm-hmm,
So there is the importance of, you know what I mean? By
yeah,
rewarding yourself.
Yeah.
You know, just reward yourself. It might not just be too much. It might just giving yourself a part, buying yourself a new perfume, giving
Yeah.
yourself a treat, buying a new
Okay.
book to read, or getting
Yeah.
yourself a new shirt or a new jacket, just to say, "Oh, you're doing well." You know, because even with my kids, we have reward system.
Nice.
We have our games that we do, and we try to
Okay.
get gift cards. The
Okay.
winner gets something,
Nice.
and we reward if you have all A's, just to encourage them to put more effort in what they're doing. Because
Okay.
even with kids, you want to give them reward. You want to tell them,
Okay.
and because based on all the books I've read, they said it's right to also inflict punishment on
Mm-hmm.
things and or habits that are wrong. So
Mm-hmm.
if you have negative habits, somebody doing something wrong around you, maybe your
Mm-hmm.
kids or loved one, you want to like inflict a certain level of punishment. Because
Right.
then what you inflict punishment on, the human brain recognizes that this is not good. It's not a pleasant memory.
Mm-hmm.
The human brain tries to switch off to something that is good. So, but
Mm-hmm.
what you celebrate, you tend to want to embrace more of it. You tend to want
Right.
to do more to achieve more.
Mm-hmm.
So it is a great way to encourage yourself to do more.
Yes.
You know, to rightly motivate yourself to do more of what you're doing and to
Okay.
increase it. So what keeps you? That's why I said it helps you to do more.
Yes.
And
Yes.
what keeps you growing is discipline. You know,
Yes.
knowing that, oh, I have to read a chapter of a book every day. Yes, there are times you want to relax and, oh, I have a special movie I want to watch. I want to be out with my friends to go have, a dinner or something. But
Okay.
because you have that discipline, even when you do all those things, you don't go to bed until you've achieved that goal.
Yeah.
So growth is continuous and must be continual, as in it must be something that is ongoing. You don't
Mm-hmm.
stop growing. Growth only, but I tell people, I said, you only stop growing when you're no more living. So as
Right.
long as you're living, you're growing either spiritually, you're growing financially, you're growing intellectually, you're growing
Mm-hmm.
on all sides. You're learning new things every day. Your
Yeah.
experience level is getting higher. And so, in this side, we want to ensure that we are learning new things that are positive, things that will take us to where our goals. Because I know this season is the time everybody's talking about goals, dreams. I have a class coming up, a webinar that I'm doing for 6 weeks. I'm going to share it with you.
Okay.
It's putting your dream to test.
Mm-hmm.
Dare to dream. So your goals, your dream, have you checked them out? How smart are they? Are they
Mm-hmm.
smarter? Because I tell people that goals have gone beyond just being smart to being smarter. What I
Oh.
mean by smarter is the ER.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes you want to check your goal as time goes on.
Yes.
Evaluate your goals. Are these
Mm.
goals able to take me to where I want to be in 10 years' time or in the
Okay.
next 1 year? When you evaluate that goal, you might have to go back to review it because sometimes you set goals for 1 year and in 6 months you're done achieving everything.
Right.
So what do? Do you fold your hands and say you're not going to do anything more? No. You might not go back to your goals and evaluate it and see what other things you need to add. Then go back to your drawing board, review it as okay, I have these 3 points, these three
Mm-hmm.
goals to achieve.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, the time will just go and there'll be nothing
Yeah.
else to achieve. Sometimes the goals might need to be tweaked to be in line with what you want to do. So it's a time for you to just go back and evaluate your goals time after
Yeah.
time, month after month. And it is said, what you do not see, you do not enter into. So what you do not say, you do not become. So let's
Mm.
begin to speak. Sometimes I tell people, I said, just make a time to read your goals to yourself. I want to
Yeah.
buy a big house. I want to have a brand new car. I want to have a non-for-profit helping people out on the
Mm-hmm.
homeless from the street, giving them
Mm-hmm.
a home, feeding them. Some of the things you want to do, sometimes you need to verbalize it. And one scripture that helped me said Hebrew 11:3 says the word was formed by the words of God. So what
Okay.
are you saying to yourself?
Mm.
What are you saying to your children? Knowing that
Mm.
our words have power. The words we say from our mouth build. Some words can either tear some people down,
Mm-hmm.
some build. So we want to focus on saying the right words, words that bring together,
Yeah.
words that build, words that encourage people to aspire for more.
Yeah.
So that's it. And I want to say thank you for making a time to share your story with us. Before we call it a day, you might want to share maybe a unique experience, a unique story in your businesses, in your life that you might want to share before we call it a day.
A unique story. I have one. So my license for my real to become a realtor. I took a 6-week course, um, and I studied. I did what the teacher asked, and I was nervous. I missed one day of class, and I felt like missing that one day of class would have cost me all the knowledge in the world, and I wouldn't be able to succeed on the class test as well as the state test. However, I studied. Like even in missing the class, I studied. I did everything that was required to to learn the information and to pass the course and to go sit the state exam. And so there was still a bit of fear. There was still fear, no matter the years of real estate experience I had in buying or selling. I still had the fear of, dang, this exam. How will I do on this exam? And so I was able to study, pass the class exam, and then I finished the class on a Thursday, and I took the state board exam on a Sunday, and I was
Wow.
able to pass it on the first try. But I was
Wow.
scared the entire time. The whole time I was afraid. So that's probably a very unique story. Just doing it afraid. Don't be afraid to do whatever it
Yeah, and
is
that's
that
what
you
courage
want to do.
is.
Doing
Courage
it
is
afraid.
doing it afraid.
Yeah.
Come back, take the bull by the horn, confront
Mm-hmm.
your challenges, go all out, risk it, and you see
Yeah.
God coming through for you. A lot of times why we don't try things is like we're afraid that with this work, but sometimes you try it and it just works and I'm like, oh my God, I did it
Yeah.
this time around. And before you know it, you're achieving and doing more things. Awesome, awesome. That's a great
Yes.
story. Thank you so
Yes.
much, Raheem. Thank you for making that time. I also want to thank our viewers who have been on this show. Thank you for being so committed to following us on this show and watching. And if this has been a blessing to you, like I often would say, leaders are those who know it and shares it with others. So please share
Mm-hmm.
this link with others. Let's be a blessing to others in this new year. And I want to say thank you once again. It's going to be a great year for each and every one of us as we focus on what we're called to do. Let's dare to make a difference in our world, and the world itself will be a better place for everyone. Thank you so
Amen.
much, Raheem, Penny, and thank you, our viewers. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. And perhaps you want to reach out to us, check out the description button. You get my number. You can reach out to me. Thank you so much, and have a blessed and a glorious year.
Thank you,
Bye,
Sandra.
everyone. Bye. If you've made it this far into this video, thank you for watching. And don't forget to subscribe so you can support your girl. Thank you.